Okay. We are recording.
Okay, everybody have an agenda for need one? Everybody's got one. Okay. Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes? Or let's approve the agenda first. Anybody? What's that? Thought we had to. We do have to. Yeah. Yeah.
I move to approve the agenda.
Agenda approved. Did everybody have a chance to look at the meetings for February 4th that was at that meeting?
Did we vote for the agenda?
Excuse me?
I didn't hear a vote for the agenda.
Oh, we seconded and approved. I didn't think we had to go around. You think we have to do a roll call for that?
Yeah,
Usually, yeah.
especially
then.
since
It's
we're,
hybrid.
We'll
We're-
start with Dave. Do you approve the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ladies?
To say our name before we approve it? Okay.
Marcia?
yes,
Mary?
Yes.
Lily?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on. Minutes. Did people have a chance to read the minutes? Would anybody have any edits to said minutes? Would anybody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Bob motions, Diane seconds. Let's start approving from the Zoomers. Mary,
Yes.
Marcia,
yes,
Lily,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, minutes approved. Okay, bigger business. When we first met after the elections in March, we talked about adopting the state rules of procedure rather than the ones that had been edited years ago. Because the state rules were so much simpler and more concise. So I took the state rules, put in the town of Norwich, made an edit that said that paperwork for the appeals needed to be in 2 days before the appeal so that we would have a chance to read that material before the appeal happened, because the appeals are meant to take 20 minutes. So for them to be efficient, we need to not be reading materials. They can bring materials with them, but we're hoping that they'll bring them ahead of time. You guys have been involved in minor edits. Is there anything else that we edited? There was something about the minutes needing to be out within a
Alex?
certain period of time.
If the law changed this year, so it was just
Yeah.
to catch the VLCT template up to what
Yeah.
the current law is.
Marcia has her hand up.
Marcia,
hi there. If I can't remember if this is the VLCT suggestion.
yes,
Okay. And I can't remember if I looked it up before or not, but I looked up 24 VSA 801 today, and it doesn't say anything about a quorum being 3 or more members. It actually just, so that clause isn't in the law, but the second sentence is.
that's interesting because they were very, very clear about that in the conference about holding these hearings.
Right.
Well, they may just want 3 people, but the way it's written, it looks like it's in the law. It's a very short paragraph.
Yeah.
And 3 is not in there.
So are you suggesting that we need to modify the rules of procedure, or just that we should make note of that?
Well, I think the way it reads, it says pursuant to 24 VSA 801, a quorum shall be any 3 or more members for a tax appeal hearing.
Okay,
And
Can you read
801, would you like me to read it?
yes, please.
The town clerk, select board members, and justices residing in a town shall constitute the Board of Civil Authority of such town. Meetings of the board shall be called by the town clerk or by one of the select board members on application by giving written notice to each member and by posting a notice in 2 or more places, public places in the town at least 5 days previous to the meeting. The board shall choose a chair and the town clerk shall be its clerk. The act of a majority of the board present at the meeting shall be treated as an act of the board, except that when the board is dealing with election issues. Then 17 VSA 21035 shall control. So it doesn't say anything about 3 members.
So again, I would ask if you want us to modify our rules to say that?
Well, I think if you want to say 3 or more members will be a quorum, I think you need to move that clause and make it a separate sentence, because what 801 says is the second sentence. So you could say pursuant to 24 VSA 801, the act or decision of a majority, blah, 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 will be treated as an act or a decision. And then if the group wants, I don't know, but I don't see anything that says you can't say a quorum shall be 3 or more members, but I think that needs to be a separate sentence so it doesn't look like you're saying that's in section 801, because it isn't. Does that make sense?
Yeah, hold on, we lost a leak. I'm gonna go find a leak.
Sorry. Sorry, I had to step away.
Number 2. Yeah. Because that's.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Lily.
I'm gonna assume that VLCT actually did not produce this using AI and
Yeah,
did mean to cite what it cited.
yeah.
And I would be careful about editing.
I mean, I can, Lily and I can get together about this and be in touch with the state that through the VCLT and
Yeah, I think that would be good.
just double check.
Right. It just looks a little sloppy even if they intended it.
Say that again?
Even if they intended it, it looks a little sloppy.
Yeah. But we can just double check that the wording as it is okay, then we could go ahead and use a quorum of 3, or whether we should add that language.
Yeah.
For the moment, I would suggest just striking the first 5 words pursuant to 24 VSA 801. I would just say a quorum of the BCA shall be any 3 or more members.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you hear that, Marcia?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Martha is complaining that the statute cited does not actually speak to the quorum number required.
Right. Remember when we were at the conference, they said we could have 3 or more and that would be enough.
That's what we said.
Right, but it's not specific in the rules of procedure, so we're just trying to clarify that.
We're just gonna say.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Any more comments about the rules of procedure?
I have 2 edits that I would like to propose.
Okay.
Sorry. One is under C5. Appellants must submit copies of all documentary evidence to the clerk. I would remove that comma after clerk.
Okay.
And I would say 2 days prior to their hearing.
Okay.
Is that okay?
I'm fine with that. Anybody online have issue with that?
No.
Fine.
It's just making it clearer.
Yeah.
But then you then have to make copies and email it out. Because, yeah, there'd be no other
But we
way.
don't need to say that. That's understood.
I just want to make sure that that works. Yeah.
Because the previous version of the rules said that clerks had to receive 3 hard copies of each piece of evidence, and I do not need 3 hard copies. You can simply.
And your second edit?
My second edit was a question as to whether it's worth writing into the rules of procedure somewhere, reminding people that listers have the presumption of correctness in this whole outfit, which was dropped from the VLCT model and everywhere else. But that's also something that you may consider, just reminding people as you open hearings.
I personally have no problem including that in there because we'll be sending these rules of procedure to the people that are appealing. And there's nothing wrong with that reminder. Close the door.
I think hello? Hello?
Hang on, we lost the leaks again.
Was also come up with that training too.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's worth it, maybe.
I think that might have been on our old Rules of procedures.
Yeah.
You know why they removed it from theirs? It's kind of irrelevant.
Don't, but they were very clear on it. And
Yeah, they said.
each town is allowed to make their own rules of procedure. So I think it's fine for us to put that in there.
What number would that be?
I think that would probably be under 7A perhaps, open the hearing, stating the name of the appellant, property location and parcel ID number. The chair reminds the,
Sure.
someone tell me what to write. I think exactly what you said.
So, wasn't it something along the lines that the listers are presumed to be correct?
Yeah.
The chair shall remind.
I mean, we can look it up in the papers that they gave us. I'm sure there's wording that they provided.
Yeah.
Um,
47 pages.
Hello?
Somebody online raise a hand.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you point that I had made extensive comments on the old rules of procedures? So Lily may have the old rules there, and there was a reason why I had found that that shouldn't be in there. So Lily, can you point us to where that was in the original?
I cannot because I don't have a copy with me.
Are you talking about the original Norwich ones?
Yeah. Remember, I had done extensive comments on it.
Yeah, back in March. I don't have that either.
Well,
Yeah.
To collectively, we, the BCA as a board, want to remove that kind of a statement, which I think has historically always been the case.
I don't. Again, this is just my opinion. I don't see any harm whatsoever, and I think it's a positive to remind the people that are appealing beforehand that the listers are
Oh,
assumed to be correct and they need to prove otherwise.
Alex?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because oftentimes you come into a hearing and you think that like two sides are equal, they just have to argue their case, and then it's like our job to say who is right.
Yeah,
It's not the case, like.
I actually think that's a key part of the
Yeah.
process.
exactly.
You can't, in other words, that puts, everybody knows exactly where they stand at the beginning of the hearing.
Exactly. Marcia?
Yeah, what I had said initially was I couldn't find a citation for anything to support that because it seemed to attach at the state court level. So if you appeal from here, that's where it seemed to attach. And that's what I think, when we talked about this initially, I had suggested that that be questioned to, our attorneys, our town attorneys, or certainly to the VLCT if you're talking to them anyway. But I think you want to be careful not to put a presumption where it legally doesn't attach. If it doesn't attach at this level, but it only attaches if somebody appeals again to the state, then we need to be careful about that because we don't want to be suggesting something that isn't true.
I'm going to go through the paperwork that we got when we were at this conference. I know it's in there, and I think if we use that wording,
Yep.
that we're fine. They emphasized it several times while we were there, so I think we just have to find out what their wording was and use that.
Okay. And that's the VLCT giving those rules?
Yeah,
That info?
Lily.
So may I propose an amendment then? Okay. Under 7A, I would put open the hearing stating the name of the appellant, property location and parcel ID number. The chair shall remind all assembled that the listers enjoy the presumption of correctness.
That's the wording that they used, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
it is.
And that wasn't the wording in the VLCT proposed language. Because that's what we're looking at tonight, right?
The VLCT proposed language does not contain that wording.
Right. And that's why, they may have been talking about it in whatever presentation they were doing, but why didn't they put it in here? I think it's a pretty big deal.
Again, I think we can check with them and I'm happy to be in touch with them, but I don't think that reminding people that that's where we are starting assuming that the listers are correct, is not gonna be legally, that we're gonna be attacked for that.
Well, I can give you a reason why, but I'll just say, fine, talk to VLCT and
Okay. We'll just double check that we can put it in there.
yeah.
Do need to get some form of this approved tonight because we are going to be in meetings
Very soon.
very soon. So I would invite approval of it as amended, and then you could go back at our next meeting and amend the procedures by a vote of the quorum of the board.
If the state says otherwise, you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Or you could
Did you hear
also,
that, Marcia?
yeah, and you could also talk to Brennan about just asking the attorneys about it, because I'm sure they've seen lots of this.
Yeah.
Um,
So yep, Lily,
And that was first, actually.
sorry, been looking.
Two questions. One is that there's a citation here that I couldn't find on the actual document. So that there's a little one, let's, in the section C4, at the end of C4, there's a citation one that I think we got deleted.
Oh, yep.
And so either, obviously, either we keep it in or we delete it, but it has to go somewhere.
I think we can,
And then the other question I had was just procedurally, are we gonna record it? Are we gonna do audio or video, and where are we posting it? I don't know the answer to that.
I can
Lily can
take
answer
a stab at that. If we divide up into subgroups for these appeals, there would be concurrent meetings, and each meeting would be responsible for producing an audio recording of their meeting. So on your phone,
Somebody on phone.
on a phone, that would get to me, and I would then post that where it needs to be posted to meet all the open meeting law requirements.
We're not required to have video, so
Right.
we wouldn't do video unless somebody has to attend remotely for some reason.
Right, okay.
So if we can all be in the same room, video is not required.
Okay, and since you mentioned that, is there a procedure through which someone can say, I have to attend remotely? Who's giving them the Zoom link and how does that get organized?
I think each group, right, but again, being able to see somebody's face is a bonus,
Right.
but again, it's not required. They could just call in and they could be on a conference call.
Yeah. But so you're scheduling everybody.
I can schedule everybody as the clerk of the board, yes.
And then each, either somebody, well, we'll get into the subgroups. Let's get back to rules of procedure. Finish that.
Alex,
Yes, Marcia.
are you suggesting that people are gonna be using their phones for these?
Well, hold on. We need to get through the rules of procedure first and then we'll move on. So
Oh, right,
let's
but
not get
that's not-
sidetracked just yet.
Oh, no, that's number 4, the recording. I'm just questioning how the recording is gonna go. And that footnote should be to the open meeting law.
Okay. You're saying citation number 1 is the open meeting law?
Well, that's what the text is about.
Okay.
And I think it says if it's a hardship, we don't have to do it, but obviously.
And yes, if people want to record their hearings on their phone, that they can do that. It's got to be recorded. We have to have audio. We don't have to have video.
That seems a little odd to me.
What would be wrong with that?
It's a little loosey-goosey in terms of, I come from a background where you think about, preserving evidence. I mean, if this is gonna go to court, then, what are you producing?
Well, we're
Somebody,
going to produce the audio that Lily has, that she has to post. So we're going to be saving it. It won't be deleted after the fact.
okay, it just seems a little sketchy to me, but
I don't think we're all always going to have an alternative to that. Lily,
I have a tape recorder and blank tapes if you would like to go that route.
But I think you're right, Alexa. All we need to do is approve number 4, that we're gonna record it. And
Yeah.
then we talk about logistics later.
Other edits to the rules of procedure.
Just a small thing. This is not a complaint.
Yeah,
Oh.
hold on just a sec. Jed had his hand up. You just can't see everybody, unfortunately.
Right.
Just number 7, when it says the chair will conduct all tax appeal hearings in the following sequence.
Yeah.
For each group of 3.
We haven't decided how big the group will be, but
Okay.
yes, there will be a chair of each group.
Is that the same person every time per group?
I would assume that each group would choose somebody that would be their chair, but. Sorry, Marcia, yes?
Number 8, if you want to be technically correct, that statute is actually referring to subsection 1, so it's the last line on page 2 should be 32 VSA 4404 paren C paren 1 and paren.
Oh, I see. And then the comma.
Yeah.
Got it? You got that?
I got it.
Other edits? Would anybody like the motion that we approve the rules of procedure with these edits? Double checking between now and our next meeting, whether or not we need to or should not include that sentence about presumption of correctness.
I so move.
Suzanne seconds. Mary? Yes, no?
Yes.
Kristen?
Yes.
Marcia?
Yes.
Lily?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes. Rules of procedure adopted. Okay. Next on the agenda, and Jed has already alluded to this, as have others, is that we can break into smaller groups to hear these. The smallest number is 3, the largest number would be the entire board. They have received to date 109 grievances, 90, sorry.
95.
They said 190 a second ago.
95?
Grievances,
190.
yeah,
Or 190.
yeah, a lot. And I think Pam was telling me that's 12% of those that received letters. Okay. We're assuming that we're gonna have to deal with at least 12% of that, if not more. And at this conference that many of us went to or attended online, they suggested breaking into smaller groups to deal with the backlog. Because Ernie is a lister, he can't hear any of the grievances or appeals, so that brings us down to 17. I don't know if anybody on the board is going to be appealing themselves, in which case they have to recuse themselves. So that number,
All,
yes,
all hearings?
Yeah.
Oh, not just their own.
not just their group.
Oh.
Sorry.
If you let it die here before it comes to an appeal.
But you haven't gotten, anybody who's grieved has not yet had their
Right.
letters from the listers saying.
You can grieve and
we
still
don't know
hear
if they-
things. It's if you appeal to the BCA that you can't hear them. So it's only if you take it another step. No,
Maybe
we'd like to
20% of
see-
that. Yes.
um,
20 minutes a piece.
at any rate, I would like to suggest that that we have the potential to break into 3 groups. Because I think trying to schedule all these with just groups of 3, I don't think that will be consistent. And I think we want to make sure that everybody's hearing is equal and people don't feel like they are treated differently by this threesome than this threesome. And so what I would suggest is that Lily and myself and Suzanne as the vice chair all take a group and we break into 3 groups. We'd have 2 groups of 5, no, 2 groups of 6, 1 group of 7. No, I'm doing my math wrong. Anyway, 3 groups. And then based on availability, I think we'll be able to schedule without too much trouble. And it's not clear to me we're gonna need more than 3. If we can do in 3 different groups, 4 hearings a night, 20 minutes apiece. I think we'd be okay with that.
We're gonna have to be really rigid about
Yeah,
20 minutes, because I've never
yeah,
been to one that's been only 20
The,
minutes.
the listers, to their credit, have already set the, examples.
yeah.
And so, I would say that, I think people are coming and expecting,
Yeah.
this clock ticking, it's 20 minutes, we're done.
And I would agree.
I recommend a timer with a loud buzz.
Yeah.
An electric seat.
Yeah.
At any rate, that's my suggestion. Open to feedback, disagreement, other ideas.
Do we have any idea when the
Yes.
BCA hearings will start?
Yes, so the listers are hoping, fingers crossed, if they are able to continue on their current path, to send out their letters after grievances on the 8th of August. From when they mail those letters until they have 2 weeks to then appeal for Lily to receive the appeal. Which would be what, the 22nd, I believe. From the 22nd, we then have 30 days to schedule their appeal hearings. That doesn't mean they have to happen in 30 days. It means we have to schedule them by then. So my thinking is that we wouldn't start hearings until mid-September. People will be back from break, kids will be in school. That's my thinking. Some people may ask for sooner or later, I don't know, but those are the requirements for us, is to have it scheduled, not have to do it within those 30 days. So again, I think if we break into 3 groups, and it may be that we don't get so many appeals and we don't need to break into 3 groups, but I'd like us to have the potential to do so, depending on how many we get. We're probably gonna at least want to go to 2, but we'll see.
And is the idea to do them all in one? I mean, they get scheduled when they get scheduled, or do we try to clump them all together?
I think in general, we'd be trying to do at least 4 in one sitting.
Each subgroup.
Each subgroup, but one subgroup could say, let's do 6.
Right.
That's your prerogative. I personally probably wouldn't want to try and do more than that, but
So you're thinking, okay.
we can be
we get
flexible.
X number, and we say, okay, we'll just divide them in thirds, and each group gets 1/3, and then
Sure.
that group can schedule, if
Sure.
you want to do 4 and I 6.
It also gives us the flexibility if, I know some people that are probably going to go all the way through with this, and I'm not going to be able to hear them. I'm close friends with them and I can't hear their appeal. So it gives us the flexibility to say, could your group do that because I can't hear it? Lily, sorry.
I completely just forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry. It'll hopefully come back to me.
Anybody online have questions or comments?
I was just wondering when you would be doing the conflict of interest things, say the recusals. You'll have the whole,
Well, some people, I'm assuming that most of the board is going to be available unless they are appealing themselves. They should be able to tell us that within the next few weeks. So then we know how many people we have available to hear the appeals. And then I think as Lily gets the appeals, she'll be able to say to us, here's who the appeal is. And it'll be amongst Lily and Suzanne and myself, and then we'll speak to our groups and say, can anybody not hear this? Or so people have the opportunity to say, I can't sit in on that one. But it's not clear to me if that's the case that you necessarily have to give it to another group. You could just recuse yourself from that one appeal if your group is 5 or 6 people, because you
Yeah.
still have 3.
I was just wondering how you would do that and comply with open meeting law. And when you'd be doing it. I mean, because like you, I know some people that I'm going to recuse myself. So as soon as we know it, I think maybe I'm just suggesting we might need a meeting.
To do the recusal or recuse yourself?
To do the
For the hearing.
recusal, because like you, you know that you're gonna have to recuse yourself for certain folks. And I know I would have to recuse myself for certain folks. And I think that might have to be under open meeting law, that might have to be a meeting. But I'm just throwing that out there. Rather than just, talking about it between yourselves.
Hold on, Lily's raising her hand.
I would suggest that since we have not yet set groups, once all of the appeals are in around August 22nd, I send a list of appellants out to the BCA and you can reply to me and let me know if you're going to have to recuse yourself. I can make a giant spreadsheet and Elise can use that to assign groups with minimal recusal impact.
Does that make sense, Marcia?
Sounds good.
Yep.
I remembered my
Yeah.
comment. Please remember the listers also have to be at these hearings, just one, so it may be that each group is assigned a lister. But we're gonna have to figure out their schedules too. Yeah.
A lot of jumping through hoops. In addition, each appeal gets a visit. And at least 3 of us have to go to each visit, which is another reason to have more than 3 people per group, because those visits can happen. You don't have to go at the same time, but it makes more sense to go at the same time. If it's more convenient for the homeowner, just seems like the right idea. The listers are not required to go to those. They may want to go, but the homeowner has to give them permission. It's not obvious that the listers can go without the owner's permission. So it's another thing to keep in mind in terms of how big our groups are, to have more flexibility about being actually able to do these.
And then this inspections have to happen.
Yes.
It's necessary for.
And it would be nice if that were spread out more evenly than it has been in the past. There tends to be people who would always volunteer and others who wouldn't, so.
Yeah.
I'm hoping there'll be even
We,
distribution.
sorry,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
each group, we discussed this at the training, each group should be, the people who hear the argument should be the people who go. Even though they don't have to be, it
Correct.
could be anybody could go.
Well, no, the people that hear that appeal,
It has to be there.
3 people from that group have to.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to one if it was Suzanne's group. That wouldn't make sense. Other questions or comments? Any hands up online? Mary?
Yeah, if this is going to happen in the fall, be working, so a visit would have to be after 4 o'clock.
Right. But I think all of these visits, some of them are gonna have to get scheduled on the weekends as well, just not everybody can do that during the week.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
again, each group can figure that out. And it may be that you can't go to all of yours, or you can only do the ones on the weekends. But I
Yep.
think each group is gonna have the flexibility to make that happen.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Are we required by statute to complete all of the appeal hearings and inspections and send out our decisions by a certain, I mean, is there some window we're given time? I know
there is-
listers
there
have
are-
lots of time
It's a
windows.
30-day window once the appeal has been heard for the
Once
first
it's been
time.
heard.
If you recess it, you have 30 days to do the inspection and bring a report back to the board.
Bring a report back to the board and then make a
As your
decision.
subset, and then make a decision, and then I believe you have 14 days to get the decision out, but that may not be correct. So.
Did everybody hear that? So we have 30 days from when we hear the appeal to do the site visit, get the report out, and have a meeting to decide what we're gonna do, and then we have 2 weeks from that point to get that decision to the person that's appealing.
So that 30 days to have the meeting to decide what we're gonna do, we're still gonna be in the smaller groups at that point?
Yeah.
Okay, and then do we need a bigger meeting of
Nope,
everybody?
you're in the
to-
smaller group all the way through.
Okay, so we don't need to all get together and.
We do not.
Should at the end.
And it may be that based on the number of appeals we get, that we only go into 2 groups. I mean, I think that Lily is correct, that we should get all of the appeals, see how many we have, then decide on groups, and if anybody has to recuse themselves, put it in the other one. Other comments? All right, so what we're saying is, we'll get all the appeals, which we expect to receive, probably the last couple of weeks of August. And then we will send that list out to everybody on the board, so people can say, I can't hear that one, or I can't hear this one. And then we'll decide on who's in what group and how many groups we have. And assuming it's okay with everybody, Suzanne and Lily and I will figure that out amongst ourselves.
Thank you.
Does that work for everybody online?
Yep.
Okay. Marcia?
You're muted, Marcia.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still mulling about, if 3 people are a quorum and, you know, is that a meeting and does it need to be an open meeting law? I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, well, there's nothing to stop Suzanne and Lily and I from recording our meeting. Or we could just have it be 2 of us and not worry about the quorum.
It's not a property tax assessment appeal, so 3
Yeah.
is not a quorum.
Yeah, true. Okay, I don't think we have to vote on that. I think we're just trying to discuss amongst us how we want this to be moving forward. So I'm going to leave that agenda aside, and you have the floor, Purger.
So it's a misnomer to call it the biennial purge. Really, it's the biennial time that I ask you guys to look through the list and tell me who I can challenge, who I haven't already challenged. And as you may know, Norwich has an issue with renters. We have some renters, in particular, kids who come for 2 years at Tuck and then leave without letting anyone know. They'll register for one general election and then they're gone. And I have no way of finding out where they go. So if any of you have intel on any of the renters, I would love to hear it. Otherwise, I track when people move away using their property transfer tax returns. I immediately send them a challenge letter and say, looks like you just sold your house and you moved to Tennessee. Are you really voting in Norwich? And usually they just email me back or send the letter back, and it's good. In terms of people who can remain on the list who you think have moved out of town, anyone who has moved abroad whose last residential address was in Norwich is still allowed to vote in Norwich, even though they live abroad and may have no intent of returning. Same with people who have moved into assisted living facilities. So if you move into a nursing home from Norwich, you can still vote in Norwich. So those people that you know who have moved into assisted living facilities or who have moved abroad, I can't challenge. So I'm really looking for renters and adult children of people you might know who have flown the nest but are still on my voter rolls. And all I need from you is basically a head nod saying you've looked at this list, you think it's up to date. You know, if there's anyone else you think I should challenge, please let me know.
What do you want to know here now?
I mean, you can give me a list or you can yell it out and I'll write it down, whatever you want.
I'm glad I've done one.
Let's just go in order to make it easier.
Okay.
Mary, do you have any challenges to the voter list?
Yes, I did read the list that was submitted. I noticed Erin Bardsley. I know she lives in Tunbridge now.
Bardsley?
Can you spell the last name?
Bardsley.
Okay.
Jeffrey Pearson was my tenant.
Hold on. We're still looking for Bardsley. I'm going to turn you to face Lily so you can see where she is in the process.
Okay.
Okay, Tunbridge.
Do you need her address in
No,
Norwich?
unless you have her address in Tunbridge, I'm good.
I don't have that.
Okay, who's the next one?
Jeffrey Pearson, who is my tenant. It's Pearson.
Okay,
He's moved to Vershire. He bought a place in Vershire.
awesome. Are Loretta and Michael and Benjamin still there?
Loretta and Michael are. Benjamin, I think, is another son, and I don't know if he is or not.
Okay, he's already challenged, so. All right, anything else?
I'm wondering about Tim Cronin. Is he
He passed
deceased?
away and I actually just spoke with his widow.
Okay.
So she brought in a death certificate and I was able to take him off the list.
Okay, those are the three I had.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Marcia?
No, nobody I can really say.
All
for
right.
sure.
Kristen?
None from me.
Okay.
I don't know if any of the Coates childrens are still living in Vermont. Benjamin, Matthew, and Molly.
Okay,
I just don't know.
I will challenge them. Is that it for you, Dave?
Yeah, God.
Well,
I
we'll
look
come back to you later.
I'll look again.
Diane?
Just saw her until, I don't know if you got the email.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
So I sent you a list. Some people are like, I didn't understand how they could be on the list of living Athens priests. You know, but now I understand. And some people I knew were in nursing homes. And then there's some people I think are dead. I mean, some I know and some not sure. And then in the case of it's Barry Smith's daughter, the name is something Smith or Smith something. It's on the list I gave you.
Thank you.
Jillian. I think she's moved to another state.
Smith Davis. Okay.
Yeah. What are the other names I had? Because I could,
Let's see.
did I say?
Harry Pynton,
I think he's in a nursing home.
Linda Cook, we know. Natalie Junio Thompson.
That's Wendy Thompson's granddaughter.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
She's in California right now,
But I think he's in grad school.
but,
Oh,
but
I just-
she's in flux, so.
Yeah. That's why I tried.
Yeah, well, this is why we challenge
Yeah.
people, because sometimes they're in flux and coming back. And John Lamperti.
Is that the father of Aaron? Aaron's father died.
And,
And I don't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And like, and I feel careful if there were a son named John who,
Right.
you know, we're saying are dead. Yeah. And I know Bear Sheriff. For sure.
Jillian Smith Davis, you think she's out of state?
So,
And Michael Thadani? If he's in London, then he can still vote here.
okay, yeah, so.
Okay, and then you had a bunch that are in different countries and they've all been
Now I understand why.
vetted. Yep. Awesome. Bob?
Just the one I sent you, Doug P. or Doug Campbell, there's two of them.
Yeah.
One's the father, I think, is deceased, and I don't know if he's Doug P. or Doug Campbell.
I have their birthdays, so I can figure that one out and I will challenge the follow or look for an obituary.
People have ratings. Or answer.
Okay, excellent.
Did I do it backwards? I was looking at the yellow one.
Don't look at the yellow ones because they've already been challenged. They're on their way out as far as I'm concerned.
There were too many not yellow ones. But I'll look again.
There are a lot. Jed? But, so you are at 95, 96. So you rent from the Adamses? So do you know if the previous tenant is off of my list?
Oh.
They still live in Norwich. Oh, no, wait, some of them moved. I will.
Go ask Rob Adams if I can have a comprehensive list of previous tenants and where they're living now.
We'll look at this tonight.
Thank you. Excellent.
That's good. I actually did.
Who is there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maggie.
and they might be close, because they're close to being done. Thanks.
No, they definitely, they got placed in Iowa or something like that, so.
Yeah.
It started when people come and register to vote at one of the general elections, like November presidential election, they register. I say, oh, you have a Tuck address. Can you please compose an email to me and schedule send it for 2 years from now when you graduate that says, take me on. It's the only way I'm gonna get them.
You wouldn't have any yellow.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I will fill out my form and let the Secretary of State know that we have completed the biennial purge.
Any
Not
other
as fun as-
business? Anyone? Going once, going twice?
A comment, because usually we're done with the hearings by the time the tax bills go out and stuff. So people are paying their tax bill based on what, and then they're gonna get an adjustment if we, yeah. So that's yet another step that will be coming.
Well, I think they're gonna have to pay the bill.
Yeah.
I mean, the tax bill's gonna.
Oh, yeah.
go up.
Yeah.
It's not large here.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that they can't appeal to the other board in terms of getting leniency for their taxes, but that's not us.
Well,
Yes, it is
us.
Yeah, we're part of it, but
It's us.
those guys. Motion to adjourn, anyone?
I'll make a motion. Can we adjourn?
Second?
Second.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Do we need to roll call for adjournment?
Oh, we should roll for adjourn.
Oh.
Mary,
Yes.
Marcia,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Lily,
Yes.
Dave.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Sorry about the lack of an owl.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody says no, do we have to say?
It would have to be a majority of no's.
You just say no.